3 rounds in the Fighter Source welterweight semi-final division. Introducing first, this man fighting out of the blue corner. He stands in at 6 feet tall. He weighed in at 170 pounds. He is undefeated, 4 bouts, 4 victories, 1 knockout. He hails from Modesto, California, and represents the Fresno Force, Jesus Lopez. His opponent, this man fighting out of the red corner. In 7 amateur bouts, he has 6 victories. One of those victories also comes by way of knockout. He stands in at 6 feet tall, weighing in at 170 pounds, representing the Tuscaloosa Thunder, Brooks Caveman Conley.
Welcome back, folks. Once again, Chris Garrity here with the Silverback, Seth Petruzzelli. It's time for our welterweight semifinal bout. Your referee, Mr. Todd Anderson, about to get us started. Jesus Lopez of the Fresno Force, Brooks Caveman Conley of the Tuscaloosa Thunder. Last time we saw Brooks Conley, he was dominating in Alabama. This should be a good fight because Jesus did the same thing in Fresno.
Yeah, both fighters looking really, really intense for this fight.
And these are big 170, Seth. Both put together, both have a lot of power in their shoulders. So we might hopefully see our first knockout of the night here tonight.
Give me that knockout. Some nice punches being thrown right away by Brooks.
And if you're having a tough time at home, folks, mirror images on the trunks. You've got Tuscaloosa Thunder's Brooks Conley. His trunks have a red with the gray trim, and Lopez's trunks are gray with the red trim. Conley goes for an instant takedown. Lopez is trying that guillotine choke, but he's not going to get any leverage areas, although he's trying to get in right now and get into at least a half guard, and he's got some leverage. What do you think, Seth?
Yeah, it's still difficult from the half guard to pull that choke off. I mean, he did the right thing by shrimping inside like that, trying to grab one of his legs to get half guard, but I mean, if he was in guard, obviously, I'd be more scared for Brooks Conley.
And Lopez is still cranking pretty hard on that guillotine, which means what we talked about in the last fight we watched, your arm's going to get tired. Is this really something you want to do in a bad position this early in a fight?
Yeah. I mean, I would try for it, and then I'd feel for my opponent. Like, if I heard him kind of, like, straining or whatnot, I'd keep it on, but if not, I would let it go and try to shrimp and get guard back. No reason expending the energy if you're not going to get it.
Conley trying to stay active, move back to side control, and eventually hopefully pop his head out and start laying down some punishment on Jesus Lopez.
There he goes. Got the guard now.
But is he going to have enough left in that arm to sink that guillotine in and finish it, Seth?
Yeah, Brooks Conley, from looking at his face right now, it doesn't look like he's in too much trouble, but that can change in an instant when it comes to guillotines.
And it also depends where the guillotine is also hitting, too. Sometimes it's cutting off the air, then you can see it in the fighter's face. If they've got a different angle on it and it's cutting off blood, then all of a sudden they go out and you never know what happened.
Right. There, its head's out now.
Finally, Caveman Conley pops his head out and starts to throw some bombs at Jesus Lopez.
It's almost like he was saying, hey, you're not scoring those points with that guillotine. I'm gonna fight right back.
That's right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is our welterweight semifinal bout. Both of these fighters move on to San Diego, California, January 9th. Whichever one wins will be in our finals. Then the winner in the finals moves on to Brazil for Team USA. So that is round number 1 in the books. Tough round to call because technically Lopez had kind of a submission.
Yeah.
Conley had top control to take down. Who are you giving that to?
Giving it to Conley for sure. I mean, his hands at the beginning, throwing those bombs, he connected more with Jesus. Plus the huge takedown, just because that guillotine was sort of on, not really much.
I'm agreeing with my partner in crime here, Seth Petruzzelli, Caveman Conley, round number 1. And we will be right back after these messages for round number 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just heard the 10-second knock, which means round number 2 is about to start. Your referee, Todd Anderson, has just cleared the cage for our welterweight second round tournament semifinal bout. Jesus Lopez of the Fresno Force with Brooks Conley, the caveman, representing the Tuscaloosa Thunder. Seth Petruzzelli, Chris Garrity here, bringing all the fights to you tonight.
Yeah, Brooks Conley has a real good 1-2, some nice hands. I like to see him keep it standing.
Tried the high kick, but really telegraphed it. I don't think Lopez had any worries about getting out of the way on that one. And Conley looking to start off the second round the way he finished the first round here in top control, looking for a single leg takedown. Seth and I both called it the lost art of MMA, and he lands it.
Nice.
Picks him up, dumps Lopez right on his back.
Let's see now how Conley works out of the guard of Lopez.
Well, now we actually get to see Conley on top without his head stuck in, underneath Lopez's arm, and see what kind of damage he can actually do. And they are right in front of us at the booth here, folks, so we get a great view of Brooks Caveman Conley in top control on Jesus Lopez. Double monkey punch.
God, beat me to it, Chris.
Seth's favorite move, folks.
Yes.
They don't call it, they don't call your gym the jungle, and you don't walk around with big gorillas on your shirt for nothing.
Looks like Conley, though, is cut open. I can't tell if it's his nose that's bleeding or something's leaking all over Jesus Lopez right now.
And I do see that. The blood is trickling. I don't know. We can't see it on TV here, but when Seth and I look, there is definitely some blood now dripping out of Brooks Conley's face. We're going to find out where exactly that's coming from. Hopefully at some point we'll find out how it happened. Obviously it happened on the bottom. Lopez somehow landed a strike. I've never seen a fight end from strikes from the bottom, but I've seen people hurt like that before.
Oh, yeah.
You can get a little bit of leverage from down there. You can do some damage.
I've seen cuts open up horribly from being on top in the guard like that. Just sliding an elbow, slicing on the back. More big double monkey punches. I love it.
I think Seth now has a new favorite fighter in the 2015 season for Fighter Source.
I mean, it's very caveman-like. It's appropriate for him to do those. I mean, monkeys, cavemen, they lived around the same time period, ancient monkeys.
Yeah, because monkeys don't live right now. I mean,
well, ancient monkeys.
The philosopher, the fighter, ladies and gentlemen, he is Seth the Silverback Petruzzelli, best color man in the business. Brooks Conley cruising in the second round here.
Yeah, he's been fighting, though, with his head in his chest the whole time. I'd like to see him posture up and get some of those big shots off. I mean, Jesus really isn't holding his head down either. I mean, it's kind of the caveman himself keeping himself down there like that. Like, he can posture up at any time. Yeah, you see his corners yelling for it, too. Posture, posture.
And we do get the 10-second rock. We're about to end round number 2 in our welterweight tournament bout. Brooks Conley in cruise control here for the second round. And as they stand up, we're going to see it looks like the nose, Seth, is where that blood is coming from. I don't see a cut anywhere else, so.
Yeah, it's not so much his eyes or the chin, but right on his nose. Right in that area.
Dr. Seth Petruzzelli, and that is one of the greatest looks right there. You can see in the corner, folks, his nose bleeding. So we're going to both give this round to Brooks Caveman Conley, and our sponsors will give you the rest. We'll be back right after this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go back with our welterweight semifinal bout. Jesus Lopez versus Brooks Caveman Conley. Chris Garrity here with the silverback Seth Petruzzelli. Seth, I think we've seen Caveman cruise to 2 rounds here. We'll see what Lopez can do to try and steal this fight here in the third.
Yeah, the corner doing a great job of stopping the bleeding right away of Brooks Conley's nose. I wonder what Jesus Lopez's corner actually told him for this round. Oh, nice big right hand straight down the pipe and another one. That was unfortunate because it seemed like Brooks slipped there. He had some great 1-2 combinations, and then I thought he'd level change the shoot, and he slipped a little bit.
Yeah, I saw that he landed the first right, then the left square in the chin, and somehow slipped on, I don't know if it was a logo or maybe a little bit of water that was left over in Lopez's corner.
You're really trying hard for that double leg takedown now. There he is. He's up flying now.
Big time dump on the ground from Brooks Caveman Conley.
Ends up in side control, but Jesus doing a great job of pulling guard. Each time he gets taken down, he transitions to guard very nicely. Shrimp in.
And trying again to work in that guillotine. This time he's in a better position, at least leverage-wise.
But he's got the arm in this
time.
The
arm in, unfortunately, so I don't know how much. It looks like Conley's doing a great job getting his head up, getting his neck stretched out. Doesn't look to be in too much trouble.
Yeah, Conley's doing the right thing. He's trying to tripod up, puts his head on the ground on tripods. Almost like you want to shove it in deeper, to be honest with you. That's kind of a good defense.
And you got to think Lopez is tired from being on his back defending so much for the first 2 rounds, especially even trying the guillotine in that first round.
He's still trying to crank it, though. He's trying to twist his neck. I mean, again, us seeing his face doesn't look like he's in too much trouble down there in that guillotine position. But I would like to see him get, you know, wrist control, try to peel it off, try to, you know, get distance, get out of that move.
I want to give a shout out to our champion, our world champion from last year from the Fresno Force, who Lopez is representing. You know who I'm talking about. Brandon the Beast Hester.
Brandon Hester, yes, sir.
Starting an exceptional pro career right now. Cut his teeth with Fighter Source last year in season 2014. Won over in England. Fantastic fighter, great guy. So Brandon, if you're watching tonight, cheering on your Fresno Force guy. Keep going with that pro career, bud. We're cheering for you.
Jesus just relentless with that guillotine, just not giving it up. I mean, and Brooks is actually respecting it because he's tripoding up, trying to escape out of it. So, I mean, you know, it has to be sunk in there a little bit if he's just not worried, if he's worried about it.
You know, and this is a good thing to discuss, I would think, in a judges meeting or in a commission meeting, because I see when fighters win fights from being active off their back, they do it usually with triangles. They do it with arm bars. But how much credit do judges give guillotine tries?
Yeah, you're right. Not a lot.
Right,
sure.
I don't think so.
It seems like a survival submission, like you're just doing it to survive.
Right, even though it can end a fight the same way, how much, I mean, because really Lopez did have Conley, like you said, at that time where he had to tripod up, he was in trouble. What are the judges going to see with that, you know?
Right.
Although it might not matter now because Brooks Caveman Conley ended that round throwing bombs, and that might seal it for him for this fight. Jesus Lopez, Brooks Caveman Conley. Seth, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely give it to Brooks Conley. I mean, takedowns alone, just huge slams, first, second, and third round, and the hands connecting a lot more than Jesus even through. So definitely give it to Brooks.
That was Lopez and Conley for our welterweight semifinal fight. This is Chris Garrity. He is Seth the Silverback Petrozelli. We'll see us in the cage here shortly for our winner's announcement.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of welterweight semifinal action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Both Judge Mills and Hoxie score the bout 30-27, while Judge Bruce has it 29-28, all in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And moving on to the finals in San Diego, fighting out of the red corner, Brooks Caveman Conley.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing here with your winner, Brooks Conley. Brooks, amazing 3 rounds, dominating all 3 rounds. It looked like your game plan coming in was throw a few strikes and then big slam. Is that your game plan?
Well, I'm an MMA fighter, so I'm able to do what I need to do to win the fight. If I got to take it down to the ground, if I got to stand up with it, I'm not afraid to go anywhere. Real quick, I just want to say hats off and thank you so much to my team back in Fort Walton, Captain Town Jiu-Jitsu and MMA. Steve, Cameron, Elvin, Clay. Watch out for my boy at 145 next year, Mr. Glass. You're going to see him next year. He's going to dominate. Quickest hands I've ever seen.
What's your game plan now going back into this? You're going to take a week off now that you're moving on to San Diego in the finals. It's coming up kind of quick.
Yeah, I definitely need to take a week off. This camp was super long. You know, being through a long camp, you need some time off sometimes, especially if you're getting ready for a quick turnover. But I've got a good team behind me, like I said before, so I feel confident going into the next round.
Well, you looked amazing here tonight. We look forward to seeing you in San Diego coming up very soon in January.
One more thing, hats off to my opponent, Jesus Lopez. He's a fighter through and through. Hats off to him. You know, he was a tough fighter for sure. So.
Thank you very much, Brooks. Give it up once again, ladies and gentlemen, for your winner.